And he's like, well, I don't know really what I'm looking for anyway. And I said, well, we're watching price. And I want you to tell me when you think it's going to go higher or where you think it's going to go lower. And I want you to push the button right in front of me. I don't want you to second guess it. I want you to, in your mind, know what it is that you think you expect. Not that you believe it's going to happen and you're not going to be right or wrong. It's what you feel, the impulsiveness inside you. What is telling you it's going to go higher or what's going to go lower? As soon as you push the button and you put a stop loss in there, I want to know where you think it's going and explain to me why you just did that. And we did this morning all throughout the lunch hour and into the afternoon. And a couple of the things that he did, obviously were way off. There was no reason for him to have done it. But I'm teaching him how to overcome fear of entering because he's afraid to do that. Now, sitting next to me, with me next to him, he didn't seem to have all that much of a uncertainty. He just, he was looking at it like it's a video game. Like I'm watching him play a video game because he could just re-up. So the way you overcome the fear of getting into the marketplace is you have to, number one, desensitize yourself. That's the only thing I had to do for myself was I had to go in and press the button. I simply had to do it. And I did it with live money, which is the worst thing in the world to do because I didn't know if I was going to be right or wrong. And I was gambling with money I couldn't afford it. Like I was borrowing it against a credit card. So I told him today, I said, I don't want you to walk away from the charts. I want you to be here until fatigue sets in. I want you to feel that. I want you to be uncomfortable. And I still want you to tell me why you're pushing the button. Why do you think it's going up? Why do you think it's going to go down? He had the classic scenario where he tried to buy it several different times today. And there was no fair value gap there. There was no reason for it to go up there. And he still would just push the button. And then we got into the lunch hour and I could tell he was just mentally fatigued by it. He's like, I don't know what to expect. So I'm just going to push the button and see what happens. I said, that's what I've been waiting for. That moment right there, that's what blew every single combine that you tried to do. That moment, I want you to know what that feels like. Because what you're trying to do right before you do that execution, that's your root problem. That's the thing that's going to keep popping up in your head that's going to cause you to do that same impulsive tendency to push a button to find out. I told him, I said, you're going to trade until you get fatigued. And then as soon as you are like, you just don't know why you're doing it, you just push the button to find out, okay, what happens. That moment, that's what I was waiting for. And I explained to him, I said, that's where everybody blows it. Everybody blows it. At that moment, it's because you have either hurt your account, someone has hurt your feelings or made you angry, or you're sick, or something cost you money that was unexpected. You are using that moment to replace some kind of negative thing that you're going through. Or maybe not even experiencing it yet, but you're afraid of it. You're afraid if something happens, it's looming in the offing. What happens if my girlfriend? What happens if my wife? What happens if my husband leaves me? Well, I won't feel so bad if I can make $1,000 today. Viewing trading as a video game is the stupidest fucking idea anybody could ever employ. Because it tricks you into thinking, well, all I gotta do is respawn. You can do that when you're doing market replay. You can do that when you're demo trading. But when you're trying to do something like a combine, if it's a funded account approach that you're going, or if you're trying to trade with real money, whether it be a lot of money or a little bit of money, those rules don't apply. You have to treat this like a business. When you go to work, okay, when you go to work, do they let the employees that you work among do whatever the hell they want to do? Now, maybe at McDonald's, they might do that shit. but they ain't doing it generally in a Fortune 500 company. And there's some structure there. There's some limits and boundaries as how far you can misbehave or waste time or be inefficient. And you are the boss. You're the CEO. You are the human resource manager. You're in charge of everything of you incorporated. So you have to have all of these hats as a trader. You're the analyst, you're the trader, and you are the person that is in charge of where you're going. You're it. You're at the helm, you're the captain, and you either sink or sail based on what you and your decisions result in. So if you go into it with the Mickey Mouse approach that, hey, let's see what happens, you know what they say, F around and find out. The longer you F around, you're going to eventually find out.